Hello, everyone. What's going down? What's happening? Today is Monday. It's August 18th, 2025. Today, what would have been my grandfather's birthday. I call it Earth Day now that he is on the other side. So, wishing him a wonderful, wonderful Earth Day celebration to my Papa Solomon. I never called him that, but I'm going to call him that today. And did you know his name was King Solomon? And did you know there's a list that went out recently that said it is illegal to call your children king? Yeah, it's illegal now. Anyway, I just thought I'd drop that in here. Waving hello to all the people that are coming in and buying some time to wait for the folks to drop on in. I'm so glad to be here. So glad to be alive. So glad to impart some information on you all. I pray that whatever comes through will help you in some small way. Um, I want to drop a few announcements. Free Bricks is coming back for those that are interested to see my one woman show that went up last year. I got accepted for the Binge Fringe Festival here in Los Angeles, Santa Monica to be exact, at the Santa Monica Playhouse Theater. If you are interested in seeing my one woman show, please be on the lookout for any information that I'll be dropping here on my socials, right? But the date, you can save the date. The date is Tuesday, October 28th at 6 p.m. It's going to be a one night only kind of thing. My short, it's not a short, my one woman show has been chosen. 25 have been chosen out of hundreds that have been submitted across the country. So I'm really honored and happy to share that with folks. Again, October 28th. I also want to let y'all know that I'm going to do something different coming up with this eclipse season this year. Normally, I do like a good hour and a half, damn near 2 hours. One time I did 3 hours. Thank you, Monica. One time I did 3 hours when it came to an eclipse special. I'm not doing it like that this year. I will get on here publicly on the regular rundowns and we will talk eclipses. I have a wonderful village, the Wordlife Astrology Village, that we meet twice a month, bi-monthly, $44 a month, in which we will go into eclipses per person extensively. However, for people who really want to know what's going on with the eclipses, I'm asking for a $33 donation, and it's going to be a limit of 22 people. Yep, I'm going to do it like that. I'm going to talk about the eclipses, and trust, there's a whole lot of information, as you already know, that's on the internet in regards to the eclipse information that's coming up. But one of the biggest reasons why I'm offering this $33 workshop on eclipses, because we're not just going to talk about eclipses. We're going to talk about eclipses. We're also going to throw a little bit of a writing exercise. I'm also going to talk about the importance of prayer and alignment. The workshop itself is called the Art of Alignment. So when I put that out, if you really want to involve yourself on Zoom, in a forum in which you can save, because I'll send it to everybody, the recording that is, so you can save the information. I mean, support your sister, support yourself, support your own growth. Because it takes a lot out of me, and it's a commitment in which I think that we need to start like really taking seriously. If we want to get better, we have to invest in ourselves. And that's just what it comes down to. I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about time. I'm talking about energy. I'm talking about discipline. It's not enough to get offhanded information from anybody, including myself, on this internet and think that you're going to grow through some things. In my opinion, you got to be a little bit more determined, a little bit more fortified, a little bit more, again, I'm serious with investments of time and energy, sacrifice and things in your life, so you can like move past whatever hurdles that you have and get aligned. Thank you, Robin. I appreciate that. The link will be put up by Wednesday. I'm gonna have the link on here, and trust me, I'll let you guys know. I'll definitely let you know next week. The website, the workshop is going to be held on September 2nd. September 2nd. All right before the two eclipses that we're about to have. September 2nd. So save that on your date. On your save the date. Forgive me. I'm going to do my best to power through this weekly rundown without getting too much into my business and without alarming those who can't really help me in this moment in time. Yesterday was an interesting day for me. I suddenly fell ill and then I came back, and it's a longer story. I'm saving you the story so you don't start asking questions and get too worried. I'm good, but I do need to go to the doctor. But I said to myself, I need to get on here and talk to the folks and let them know about this week. I don't think it's nothing like spectacular, but that's my commitment to myself. It's my own discipline too to share this information with you in a way that I believe lands. And I'd like to meet you and your determination and your discipline and your honoring of this information to do your best by always showing up. I'm that type of person. I'm going to show up. And if I can't show up, it's going to be a damn good reason why I can't. So forgive me if I pause. Forgive me if I take my time. Forgive me if this is shorter than usual. But again, I'm here to assist. I'm here to serve. And I'm here to get this thing right. All right. So thank y'all for showing up, and thank you for sharing this information. Thank you for liking over here on YouTube because it helps, y'all. It really, really does help. This is my gig. This is my gig. Talking to y'all, doing readings, getting on stage, writing the books that I have, being the artist, entrepreneur, Renaissance woman, seer that I am. It's my gig. I do nothing else. So that's why I'm doing my best to be a lot more disciplined and to show up so it can show up for me. Does that make sense? When you show up, that's the art of manifestation, in my belief. When you show up for you, it shows up for you. When you show up for it, it shows up for you. That's what I wanted to say. All right, enough of that. Let's get into the week so we can end this thing. How was your weekend, by the way? Thank you, Robin. I appreciate that. And I'm taking that energy straight into my belly. I really, really need it. I really, really need it. Okay. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. How's your weekend? How's everybody's weekend? Was it good for you? Was it good for you? I appreciate you too, Judy Applegate. And I'm so glad you're here. Be safe in your travels, okay? Hello to all the folks on YouTube. My girl D Stokes is here. What's up, Anjay? Hi, Miss Irene. Thank you for wrapping me up. Thank you. I feel the angels. I'm not even going to lie. They've been very, very close to me all night long. And I got a few people scared, but I'm here, y'all. I pray that God keeps me here for a minute. Rabbi Rob, what's happening? Chanel Roberts, I'm so glad that you're here too. And Angie, so good to see you too. Let's get right into this information, okay? Because this week, I believe, is somewhat of a game changer on some level. Now y'all know how I report, so to speak. I do my best to try to give it a beginning, a middle, and an end to make it make sense as a rhythm, as a succession of things and thoughts and uh, actions, movements, motivations, emotional involvement all throughout the week. I hope y'all see that. And I hope you understood what I just said. There's a conglomerate of emotional and practical and action responsibilities that we are being clamored with every single day and all week. But in my opinion, it's a rhythm that we can absolutely utilize in a way that can not necessarily successfully get us through and unscathed, but at the same on the same notion, like help us to grow. Because that's the real reason why we're here. If we can grow without getting our feelings hurt way too much, you know what I mean? There's gonna be some bumps. There's some real big splashes in the ocean and in the river as we flow, but we got to flow. So that's my aim here, is to keep us flowing. Okay, so check out this rhythm for this week. Today, the moon starts off in Gemini, and then by 3:05, actually right now, the moon just went into Cancer. So when we woke up, we was in moon Gemini vibrations, right? Things were a little mental, a little bit social, a little airy like, because Gemini is an air sign. And forcing us to look at different perspectives. All right. When we first woke up, that moon in Gemini was sextile in the sun. So, did you wake up cheerful? Was the information matching your will? Do you have the will to shine and show up, show and prove for yourself? That's a real question if anybody wants to answer. Like, how did you wake up? What did you wake up with? A conviction to be able to do the damn thing. And I mean that with everything. Leo energy, by all accounts, if y'all don't know nothing about Leo energy, y'all can say whatever y'all want about Leo energy. But Leo energy, I always says, shows up courageously, boldly, sometimes stubbornly, and pushes things and people out the way so it can get what it needs to get done. So if that sun in Leo is absolutely sextile in that Gemini moon when we first woke up, did you have the will, the feeling to do the thing that you need to do based on information, based on conversation that Gemini energy gives you? You see how they work together like that? And remember, if you don't, a sextile is harmony. That means it works together if you work it. You dig what I'm saying? So how's that come up for you? D Stokes says today she woke up lighter. Last week was heavy for her. I've been grinning all day today though. Yay, D Stokes, renewed on how she feels right now. I'm so happy for you. And it slides you particularly into that moon in Cancer field, which Taurus loves. All earth signs love Cancer energy. All water signs love Cancer energy. Sometimes air and fire could too, depending on what's in your chart. But for the most part, here's the flow, right, D? Here's the flow. So we go in utilizing the information, carrying that will from the morning hours, regardless of where you are, especially in the United States, right? And it goes into this Cancer, sentimental, emotional responsibility for things. I'm supposed to hold my emotions in a way in which is mature, in a way in which is nourishing, in a way in which is nurturing. Now, there's a bunch of people on here that may or may not be new to the way that I do this thing. Don't stop and say, well, I'm not a Cancer, so this doesn't affect me. No, we talk about transit charts here on Wordlife Astrology weekly rundowns. Why? Because I want to show us all the bigger picture and how we can all be accountable and responsible for the same amount of energy, the same type of energy that's plowing our universe at this time. How are you going to respond to it? So with the moon being in Cancer, if you're not feeling too emotional today, baby, you might have to tap into your emotions, because the transiting moon, the emotional energy that is taking over everyone right now, says, no, I want you to cry. No, I want you to hold on to the past or revisit the past and see what's going on in the past. I want you to pay attention to your mother, pay attention to your family, pay attention to I forgot to call her. Excuse me, y'all. I have to take this thing off of do not disturb. I mean, put it on do not disturb. I want you to pay attention to these things that are making you feel a particular way. When we talk about Cancer energy, the first word that should come to your mind is feeling. Now, how you feel about feeling is how you're going to interpret today's emotional body. Y'all got that? I'm in teacher mode today. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. So ask questions in regards to anything that I say. But like I always say, make sure you put the proper pronunciation a lot, like a lot of question marks or a lot of exclamation points that can show exactly that can tell me exactly what it is that you want me to know or want to ask of me. Okay, so knowing that emotionality is the question today, we want to look at other things that is either helping that, which could be a sextile, which can be a trine, It's like edging it on, or what's challenging that emotionality of the moon being in Cancer today. If it's a square, if it's a quincunx, that's a little irritating. If it's an opposition, which is forcing you to make balance and share space with whatever it is, whatever it is opposing, right? So the first thing is that there's a little bit of cantankerous feeling with that moon squaring Saturn. So quickly, if you have not felt it, whatever emotionality that's going on in you, the moon being in Cancer right now because it's past 305 on the east side of life, 1205 here. So the moon being in Cancer right now with that emotionality squaring up Saturn, it means we must remember that the discipline needed to execute, even if you don't feel like it. There's a discipline that you need to execute right now, even if you don't, in quotes, feel like it. Remember that moon in Cancer, what I said, the buzzword for Cancer at any rate, especially with the moon being in Cancer. Why? Because the moon rules Cancer. So when the moon is in Cancer, it's kind of popping his collar, saying, I'm in my rightful place. I'm supposed to be here. This is home to me. So it shows out a little bit. It makes us all forced to feel. So you're feeling your emotionality going against your need to be disciplined right now? Please answer that honestly, to yourself or to all of us. I mean, do you know you got to go to the gym right now? Do you know you shouldn't be eating that cake for lunch right now, and you should get a good salad with some great protein in it? Do you know that you should execute and put in your boundaries in proper place, in a proper place? Do you know that that's what you need to do? You know, in this moment in time, that you need to get up off your booty, get your back up off the wall, dance, or at the very least, get your back up off the wall and assert what it is that you've been putting into plan for the last couple of days, damn near the last couple of weeks, but all of a sudden you don't feel like it. Now let's talk about feelings, because feelings are necessary. Especially, I'm just a Cancer, and I'm going to tell you that feelings are necessary. Some people know them to be very fleeting, but I believe that feelings are necessary because it washes away the things that no longer belong, right? You have to push things out sometimes. You got to have a good cry. You got to fall the fuck out. You got to feel like, oh my God, the world is driving me crazy and it's doomsday. You got to get through the feeling in order to get on the other side, because what the body wants to do, if you don't exasperate those feelings, good, bad, or indifferent, if you don't get it out, it stays stuck in you, boo boo, right? I mean, that's common knowledge. Am I right? We're not always responsible in that regard, but it's common knowledge. So you got to feel the thing. So if you don't feel like working, if you don't feel like implementing your disciplines, your boundaries, if you don't feel like you have to face your fears, Saturn being fears, if you don't feel like there's some lessons that you need to learn, because God damn it, I'm tired and I've been learning all the lessons, it can get choked up in you. Y'all got that? I care about you. I care about myself. And I care about feelings. We should respect the feeling, like, damn it, why? Here's the thing. Why don't I feel like doing this thing? What is holding me back from really wanting to work? Is it my ego? Is it my brat kind of way of being? Or is my body really tired? Should I really take a break and tap into my heart? Should I have a conversation with the softer part of me and kind of like separate the fact? Is it just the fact that we are sleepy and tired? We should take about an hour, or we're just being a brat right now? You can talk to yourself in that way. Honor yourself. Take 10 minutes and then push on. Do you need to push on with 100? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe push on with 50 because something gets done. Are y'all hearing me? Does this make sense? Or I feel like I'm being Cancer mama today? And I might be telling you something that you don't know, but nothing is worth having it in your brain as information if you don't implement it. I'm so over people collecting information, collecting retreats, collecting workshops, and you still sitting back, pissed the fuck off at life because you're not exercising what it is that's coming through. You're not exercising the information that you were so honored to have. They didn't have this 50 years ago, 100 years ago, so readily accessible. You understand what I mean? So take what comes through in any way, bit by bit, implement it so you can be happier, okay? Also, that moon in Cancer is squaring up Neptune. This is interesting because the imagination and or intuitive energy that we can tap in. Let me read this like I wrote it, y'all, because I'm trying to freestyle. But my physical ability is not allowing me to be MC fucking Spanky Love right now. Your imagination and or intuitive energy taps into something the emotions is not ready for. So be gentle to yourself. Be gentle to yourself. As I just read the first little couple of words of what Dee said, I realized I was in a grief cycle. So I had to just be for a minute and realize some things. We have a lot of guides here for us and the other side to help us through the stuck parts of life, at least for you. I get that. I totally get that. And this is a real part of it, right? That was a foreshadow, D, to be honest with you, what I'm about to say. Because if the moon in Cancer, the feelings is squaring up against our intuitive body, there's a part of us that the feelings is not trusting what our ancestors are saying. The feeling of me not wanting to go to the doctor, I'm squirrel. I'm hardcore like that, y'all. Again, I'm not gonna get into my business, but I'm just so weird. And sometimes I like to shake it, but I think it's the Southern old lady in me. I'm gonna be all right with my herbs, and I probably said this once or twice because I talk about a lot of shit on here. But I'll be all right with my herbs. Do I feel like that because of my ego and my stubbornness, knowing that my intuition, Neptune, my ancestors and guides, Neptune, my imaginative abilities are saying like, yo, you may need to tap into that thing. You may need to go beyond what it is that you feeling or what it is you think you know, Sonja. And this is for anybody else, just using myself as an example, right? Nemo, I need to talk to you after this, okay? So please be available when I call you, at least for about 5 minutes. So can we tap into that thing to say to ourselves, like, yo, wait, hold on for a second. I need to let whatever is coming in, whatever the unseen is, to kind of overshadow and or have a place to be heard. The square, right? When anything squares anything, it initially feels like a fight, one against the other. The moon, the feelings against the ability to hear, Neptune, right? The ability to see, the ability to use your imagination, the ability to dream, your dream time. Has anybody had any disturbing dream time last night? So initially there's a fight. Initially, there's a fight going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But then after a while, the squares say, yo, we don't have to fight. All you got to do is lend some information to me, lend some time to me. Let one get off and let the other get off so they can come together and feel satisfied. So feel the feelings, understand that all the way through. But also, you got to be able to open up your mind's eye. Today, with Neptune being in place and squaring that thing up, it says, open your mind's eye and at least consider what's being said. Going off myself and my own intuitive example, what is it that your art is telling you? Y'all know, y'all don't want me to sing the goddamn thing I've been singing for the last couple of weeks when I make up my mind to find the artist's way. That's what that thing is saying, right? The moon in Cancer is squaring up against Neptune to say, what's your artist's way? What's your intuitive way? How are you moving forward? How are you utilizing the unseen? Yeah, the things that we don't see, our subconscious, the things that we know we need to do, but there is no plan. There's no plan. It's fucking scary. You feel like you're jumping off the cliff. Like, how do we utilize that in order to, again, find ourselves back in our heart space so we can allow it to lead the way in some kind of way? Are y'all hearing me? Are y'all hearing me? D Stokes said, you better get your ass to the doctor. You said, you said, but I heard ass in my mind. RJ, tell her again. You're about to team up on me. Don't do it. I'll tell y'all what happened on Thursday, okay? Excuse me, I needed some water. I'm going, y'all. I'm going. But the bottom line is that Neptune, its adverse reaction when you don't give it a voice, when you don't give your artistic um, um, artistic voice a voice, when my example, don't give my intuition and my ancestors a chance to speak, then all of a sudden, like a cloudy day, here comes the clouds coming over your mind. Here comes the confusion. And now you don't know where the start part is. The start, now you don't know where the start is. You understand that? You don't know. Is it me? Is it my feelings? Is it you? You want to project because the confusion is looming now. Now you say to yourself, I'm just confused. I'm not going to do anything. But wait. That's not what that square said. The moon squaring up Neptune. Your feelings versus what it is your ancestors are telling you, your intuition is telling you. It's not saying abandon ship. It's saying to pull back and give yourself a break. Right, these Stokes? Give yourself a moment. Be gentle with you and do a little bit at a time. Call a doctor at the very least and continue to utilize the intuition, I'm telling myself, to be able to walk through the process of what needs to happen versus what I think needs to happen. Continue to be the artist that you are. Continue to intuit the information that you need to intuit and continue to use your imagination. Okay, and in the ways in which you do need to in order to develop new ideas for where you're going. And you know why? It's necessary in this day to do that, because if we don't find a balance with that, if we don't share the responsibility with how we feel versus with what our intuition is telling us, how we feel versus what Saturn's discipline and fears is telling us to pay attention to, then we can find ourselves losing power. Because why? The moon is also quincunx against Pluto, going reverse. Please be honest with me. Do y'all understand how I speak? In the rhythm of just today, how I'm trying to show you how one is literally dominoing off of the other. Please tell me. If you don't, just say you don't, so I can make whatever it is I'm telling y'all clearer. I want to give the to you. I want you to get it. Thank you, Robin. Yes, y'all. To the beach, y'all. Don't stop, y'all. Okay? It's important. It's so important you see the rhythm, because again, one thing pings up against the other thing, pings up against the other thing. And before you know it, if you don't have, in my opinion, the clearer understanding of the first little bit of energy that happened today, then all the dominoes fall. Does that make sense? Thank y'all for chiming in. I appreciate that. Hi, Miss Kimberly. I haven't seen you in a minute. Medea is here, one of my favorite Virgos. It's your time, girl. Almost. So with that moon, quincunx, and Pluto going reverse, it says, yo, don't be thrown off by people misdirecting their power, or you for that matter. Hello, true music lover, or you for that matter. They don't know what they're doing, and you don't either. Let me clarify that. So these dominoes falling down, trying to get clarity on order, Saturn, trying to get clarity on Neptune, confusion and all the things. It can literally throw you off thinking that you the motherfucking Hawk, or thinking that you Batman or something, thinking that you come to save the day, but you don't know what you're doing either, because you're not listening to spirit. They don't know what they're doing because they're not listening to spirit. They're not listening to their own challenges. They're not listening to the lessons that need to come through. So who's leading who? The blind leading the blind. Why? Because Pluto is about power. And if it's being a little irritated right now as it's going backwards, it's literally trying to find its balance. I'm literally trying to find my power as I do this weekly rundown with you. I'm praying in my mind right now, give me the strength. This is me trying to find that power, trying to find that balance and not be frustrated by it, because the quincunx means frustration. Do y'all get this? Can you see yourself in me as an example? Is the reason why I come on here. Please try to. And if you don't, Listen. I mean, I read Medea's word. If you don't ask the questions, please, because your question may be a question that somebody else has for the whole group. Today is auspicious in a way in that it literally sets up the rest of the week on some level. Forgive me, y'all. Doing my best. On some level. So try your best to pull back today. Be gentle on yourself. Get the things that need to be done as best as possible and listen to spirit. Listen to what's coming through. And try your best to get past your feelings of ego and all the things, but honor how you feel by saying to yourself. Sometimes we got to talk to ourselves like this. Okay, baby. All right, all right, all right, all right. Let's breathe. I know we don't want to do this, but if you say, give me like, just give me 20 minutes. Give me 20 minutes to do the thing. Give me 20 minutes to make this hard phone call. Give me 20 minutes to talk to my boss. Just give me 20 minutes to deal with these fears that are coming up. Give me 20 minutes by saying, I need space. Boundaries, Saturn. I need space. I can't have people just fucking like coming and just throwing me down, like bombarding me with their energy and the things that they need. I need space so I can get my feelings together. Because what I did not tell you is that when the moon is in Cancer, and again, this is for everybody, when the moon is in Cancer, you start absorbing everybody else. And if you don't give yourself that space to recognize who's who and what's what and where these feelings are really coming from, you can take on everybody's shit. And before you know it, you crying like your dog died. You crying like, you live in Ukraine. You crying like, you taking on the weight of everybody. That's why Saturn and Neptune is like, get it clear and be disciplined with your feelings. I think I did a good job on that. Let's move on to the Tuesday. Wait, I see a question. Chanel, is it calling us to be still in order to focus and prioritize? I've been feeling completely overwhelmed. Yes, ma'am. That's a great question. I love questions like that for the collective, and thank you for following directions. She says, is it calling us to be still in order to focus and prioritize? Yes, and very yes. For a number of different reasons. Mercury is still trying to go straight. Remember, it's always a shadow period 10 days after, 10 to 14 days after. So yes, we still have to find a way. Is this thing right? Is this thing clear? Am I hearing you say a certain thing? Am I reading that properly? Am I saying the right words? Yes, Chanel. Thank you for asking that. To prioritize. And you know why? Because the sun is about to go in Virgo. And you need to know, look at the setup. I'm doing my best not to give y'all too much information before we get there, but look at the setup. If the sun, Hayazara, is about to go into Virgo, Virgo is asking us, yo, get it right. Because when I start implementing shit, I'm going to do it in an order in which is not only perfect for us, but I want some results from this. So yes, there's a pullback. There's a confusion. There's a misunderstanding. There's an adjustment of boundaries. All the things I just said for us to know what it is that we really feel, what it is that we really can take on today. So Pluto doesn't go haywire and you don't misuse your own power. You don't misinterpret your own transitions, your own transformation. Because, is it just me or are we transforming like a big dog? I was listening to Amanda Seals right now, Squirrel, and she was talking about how the systems, she's really a political head, and she's dope in her own way. I don't want to run down her resume, but the bottom line is her point was like, there's so much going on in the world that's moving so fast with technology. And again, attributing this to Amanda Seals, but I can see this in astrology. There's so much moving so quickly. However, as a human being, we want to move through our trauma and our healing just as quick. And I kind of said it a bunch of times. There's no pill, y'all. There's no pill. There's no pill to take. There's nothing that's going to allow us to keep up with technology. There's nothing that's going to allow us to heal through trauma just as quick and say, oh, I'm going to get over it. Human beings are, in some sense, the last to catch up, in a sense, right? Because we're still holding on and conditioned to dealing with our trauma in the 1950s, dealing with our trauma in 1891, dealing in our, y'all get what I'm saying? So we're learning how to push through this thing in a way. So what I say is that the best thing, in my opinion, is to be gentle on yourself. And like I was telling my sister the other day, I was like, yo, listen, we can only do but what we can do. Allowing this system, allowing this community, allowing this government, allowing all the things around us, conditioning us to keep up with the things that are changing so quickly, is doing nothing but putting pressure on us. So yes, pulling back in order to see ourselves clearly, pulling back so we can hear, so we can hear. I did that so emphatically yesterday after my little spout, my little, again, I'm not going to go into it. I had to sit back and like close my eyes and say, all right, what am I doing? What's happening right now? How should I heal this right now? I need to hear from y'all. You know what I mean? That's part of it. Ooh, Chanel, you made me go somewhere else, but in the best place, and it all lined up. So thank you for that question again. Anybody have any questions? Come on through. Let's move to Tuesday though, because I don't want this to be too long and I get excited. Y'all know that. Now, Tuesday is interesting. Tomorrow, and we may feel it at the tail end of this day as we go off into the next day. Remember, there's always a trail, especially for sensitive types, especially for those that can intuit things a little bit sooner, or as the vibration and as the energy is swelling and it finds us. So what's trying to find us next is that moon in Cancer wants to square up Mars. So do you see how imperative it is to sit in this thing today, this confusion, this understanding? So when we wake up tomorrow, we're not off with the races. Because Mars in Libra, by the way, wants us to be off with the races and deal with our partnerships, wants us to be off with the races and be cynical about everything, wants us to be off with the races and deal with being fair. Oh, I'm not being treated fairly. You're not being treated fairly. Let's step on the front line and let's make sure. But wait, hold on. Are you clear? Did you get that clarity the day prior? Did you sit with yourself, Chanel, as you started to move tomorrow, Tuesday? The moon in Cancer squares up Mars. Let me read it. Watch out for emotional manipulation. Cancer energy loves to manipulate when it's challenged. Watch out for emotional manipulation, because a partner is not going in your, a partnership is not going in your direction. Find a way for everybody to win in the best way possible. So for instance, that looks like tomorrow, if you're not clear about what the heck you want to do, tomorrow morning you can put it on a partner. Oh, well, my attorney didn't get my papers right. Well, my accountant didn't send me this. Well, my boss said blah, 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 blah. Well, my husband, well, my wife didn't clean the house. So now I'm messed up and my feelings are all hurt. Well, hold on. You knew the house was dirty the day before. You couldn't be responsible. And at the very least say, honey, can you help me clean the house? Or honey, I'll do the dishes if you do the clothes. You see where I'm going, how we set up and we're responsible for the movement? Oh, this sounds like Mandarin. Y'all just really listening intently? And I'll take the latter. I know when y'all listening, at least I think I do. My intuition is a little off today, but does that make sense? I want y'all to really understand as we wake up tomorrow, and if we're getting a little out of whack because things are not moving, Mars, things are not implemented, Mars, things are not being confronted in a way in which we think it should, because we want to project. Tomorrow is a really good day to start off projecting. I love Libra energy for a myriad of reasons, but Libra energy, when it gets thank you for listening, Kia and Robin. Hi, Kia. When Libra energy gets defensive and or pushed up against a square, it gets cynical. Oh, I know why you did this, because of blah, 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 blah. It doesn't necessarily want to see the truth. It wants to see why you're not responsible for any truths that come out. It becomes cynical. It wants to pull out receipts. It wants to become real heady about a situation as opposed to tapping in to the way it made the people feel, the way it made you feel. You know what I mean? Well, let's just call the thing the thing. Well, what is the thing? And including that thing is how I feel and how I'm interpreting it. So don't disregard my feelings, is what it's saying tomorrow morning if we're not clear about what it is that we want to do. You disregarding people's feelings because you're not clear? Does this make sense? Oh, I hope so. Again, please ask questions. If I'm bringing you around the merry-go-round, I want to make sure, because I feel it makes sense. But what's so interesting tomorrow is that guess who's on Cancer's side tomorrow? As many of you already know, Jupiter is in Cancer. So even though the moon is going up against Mars, and the moon is saying, I feel a certain way, I don't want to move in that direction. Jupiter was going, well, listen, if you don't want to move in that direction, if it's not really popping off the way you expected, and you have to give your partner a little bit of space, you have to give your partnerships a little bit of forgiveness, if you have to understand them a little bit differently before we execute any plan, before we execute any project or whatever, know that Jupiter is on our side. And whatever happens, it's going to come out for the better. If you have to take a delay tomorrow and the meeting goes awry, if you have to take a delay tomorrow and your partnership is just not showing, your partner is not showing up the way you want them to, it's like, why you look crazy? We're about to have $1 million meeting right now and you got fucking Adidas on. You look nuts. Just give them a break. You don't know what they've been through the day before that. You don't know if their spouse beat them in the bathroom. You don't know if their dog died. And even if they tell you, again, the gentleness of things. And Jupiter says, don't worry about that. Concentrate on living for yourself in this moment in time. Concentrate on doing the best that you can do, is what I wrote. Because compassion goes a long way for you, and you for other people. Does that make sense, y'all? Ooh, I hope. I really, really hope so. Again, Monday showing us where we are afflicted when it comes to our confusion and our disciplines. So we don't get our power or wrapped up into nonsense. Tuesday in the morning, it says, wait, hold on, how are we going to execute this thing? Wait, don't get your feelings hurt if they don't execute it the way I need them to, or if I don't execute it the way I need it to. You know what I mean? Jupiter is still on our side. Jupiter, remember, is a Skittles planet. It represents opportunities and possibilities and expansion. Okay? So Jupiter is saying, I'm still expanding you, boo-boo, even though it may hurt, even though there's a little delay, even though people are not going in the direction that you want them to go on Tuesday. I'm still expanding you. Don't y'all feel that sometimes? That could be, I'm trying to think of a really crafty analogy right now, and I cannot, to be truthful with you. But I'm sure there are occasions when, you feel like the world is coming down on you. But in actuality, you are expanding. You're getting better. You're growing up. And then you step outside that situation and you're like, God damn it, I'm a new person. Wow. I feel 5 years older, but in the best way possible. I feel mature because you was in that little realm of what the hell? What am I doing? I'm stretching. Am I moving? Am I, wait a minute. This feels crazy in my mind. I'm like, what's going on? But then as the days go on and you step out of that, you're like, ooh, I needed to do that for a real reason. I couldn't see it, but I really needed to do that. That's tomorrow. That's today and tomorrow. Okay? Please hold on to that. And that's all that's there for Tuesday. By the way, y'all like my necklace? My girlfriend Sandrine made this necklace. If she's still on here, you can put up your website, Nemo. I forgot to mention this when you was on. She's probably gone. But she does this. If you need her information, y'all let me know. This helped me on stage. So that's why I wore it today, because it's helping me with my body right now. That big old crystal. She does these, let me say that again. She creates these pieces for people from a personal standpoint, meaning that if you like it, or I should say, meaning that whatever it is going on in your life, she creates pieces to help you through, whatever they may be, through the crystals, you know what I mean, through her intentions, through her prayers. And It absolutely works. It absolutely works in my mind's eye. I've been rocking with Sandrine's jewelry for years, and probably 80% of my jewelry is from Sandrine because of the love and the intention she put into it. So anyway, in case you were admiring it, she also did this little. She did all of this actually. Like I said, 85%, close to it. Okay, Wednesday, keeping it pushing. The moon will be in Cancer. How you doing, Sheila? The moon will be in Cancer, but it's going to go into Leo at 7:17 p.m. tomorrow evening. It is a beautiful sisterhood. She's a Pisces. I love her to life. I love her to life. Um, Wednesday. So mainly on Wednesday, the moon will be in Cancer until again 7:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When that moon is in Cancer, there's one aspect that I want y'all to align with. The moon will conjunct Venus because Venus is in Cancer. So isn't that interesting? After we have been again bringing y'all back through the wave, I'm reiterating for a reason. On Monday we go through a little confusion, a little boundary test. So our little powers a little like trying to throw us off, right? And then on Tuesday we get mad because we can't execute the way we need to, but we find our way. But we remember that Jupiter's on our side. On Wednesday, look at the alignment. The moon says, hey, but remember, you worth it. Here comes Venus showing our worth. Here comes Venus giving us a monetary reward. Here comes Venus letting us know how beautiful we are, regardless of what we just went through. Here comes Venus letting us know that our self-esteem needs to remain intact, knowing that we know what it is that we know what we need to do for ourselves. Here comes Venus reminding us of love, reminding us of the passion that we have, the desires that we have to do the thing. Now, if it's literal love between people or between yourself, that's your story. But let me give y'all the story of desire and passion going back to the artist's way, going back to your imagination being confused on Monday, trying to execute it on Tuesday. But, there's a square. And then on Wednesday, Venus says, yo, but I got you. Go back to who you were. There was a moment I had a reading. When I have readings, it's really interesting, y'all. I really suggest that you get a reading from me. You can set it up on our website at wordlifeastrology.com or from anybody that you trust for that matter. But I really, really dig my readings because sometimes spirit and ancestors will show me when there was a time when it was best for my client, or when they felt the best, or when they felt like they were the most creative, to be more specific, or anything. Most of the times it's like good recollections, right? Or positive recollections. That's what this moon conjuncting Venus feels like for me when we come around on Wednesday. It's like a recollection of, like I had like of my client last week, of them sitting in the corner playing jacks or playing with their doll. I'm like, do you remember that? And they're like, oh my God, heck yeah, I remember that. When you was in that corner, you was so like, talking to my client, they was such in like a blissful state. That's what this moon conjunct in Venus says. Find the bliss again. Find the desire again. Find the passion, the fuel. Venus is an inward propulsion. Mars is an outward propulsion. Mars says, do the things. I tell the village and clients this all the time. Venus is like the chick. Mars is like the dude. Venus says, baby, I like bobbity 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 bob. And then Mars says, all right, baby, I'm gonna go get that thing. Right? But when we get reinstated on Wednesday with our passion, with our desire, with our knowingness, our alignment, that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, regardless of my recent confusion, regardless of people trying to get at me, regardless of power going crazy, regardless, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And remember that. Why'd you come here? That's a real question. Why'd you come here to be flipping, flopping, going backwards and forth like you a fish losing oxygen? Why'd you come here? Remember why you came. And if you flip and find the water, cuz if you that fish, flip and get in the water and find your passion again and swim. I'm just saying. Okay, so when the moon goes into Leo in the evening time, I put a little note here to myself. It's time to be free. It's time to be free. Now, there's a whole bunch of questions around freedom, right? Like, what does freedom mean to you? Nina said, freedom is no fear. Nina Simone, if y'all never seen that little clip, no fear. I don't have fear on stage, that's for sure. When I'm on stage, I let my titties hang. I let my booty roll. I let the belly do the rolls. I let God speak to me, and I hope there's some oxygen somewhere around because a bitch can't breathe sometimes. I just feel so free. I can freaking crowd surf in a gosh darn intimate bar in which nobody's gonna catch me. But I just feel so free. So what does freedom mean to you? Well, Wednesday evening, around the evening time, it's a good time to tap on into that thing. Please and very please. You know why? Let me tell you why. Because the moon in Leo, am I cracking you up, Robin? The moon in D Stokes, y'all funny. The moon in thank you, Chanel. The moon in Leo is trining up Saturn in Aries. Oh, snap. So you mean it's an opposite, contrary situation to what was happening on Monday? Yup. Why? Because the universe has a way of preparing us. The universe, these squares and shit don't happen to make you mad, y'all. These challenges don't happen to throw you off. These challenges and these negative things that come up to whip us into shape are just that, trying to whip you into shape and put you back on course. You did? So when Wednesday turns around and it's like, okay, the moon is in a different vibration now. It's not about my feelings no more. It's about the moon in Leo. It's about being courageous. It's about stepping up again and again into the thing, like I said earlier, right? It's about stepping into that thing, right? And saying, you know what? I could do this. I got will. If you want to know any buzzword when it comes to Leo, it's showing up, but it's also will. Leo has the will. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. I bet you $5. That's what Leo says. So when it is trining, which is a great aspect, right? Favorable aspect to Saturn, it says, let's get fiercely courageous with our boundaries and managing our lessons. Remember, everything for our highest good. Everything for our highest good. It's not personal. It's not personal. So the moon says to Saturn, all right, we're going to implement these kind of boundaries because I feel that there's a need to do that thing so I can implement my will. I feel that there's a need to look at my lessons and my fears a little deeper because I have the will. I feel that moon in Leo, that it's time to show the heck up. Because why? My fears are not going to take over me. I'm going to get to understand my fears. I'm going to get to have my fears sit right down next to me and be like, what's up? What you doing? Why are you here? Let's talk about it. Let's do the thing. Let's work it out bit by bit, brick by brick. You dig? That's Wednesday. What's the bricks you need to apply in order to build the structure that you need for your life? Literal structures that you need to build for your life. How do you become the authority of you just by showing up, y'all? I hope this makes sense. On Wednesday as well, here comes the freedom again. If we're building, that's some sense of freedom. If we showing up for ourselves, do y'all agree? On some level, that's some sense of freedom. It's like taking the wheel in your hand again. Also, that moon in Leo wants to sextile Uranus, which is in Gemini. I want to be free. That's what I put here. That's the wrong note, but you know what I mean? I want to be free. I want to be. Oh, I could not never be goofy. I want to be free. Innovation is key, and it feels so good. It's the possible change that can be happening on Wednesday. The freedom is the change that you allow yourself to have. When we say, you know what, I can switch my own emotions. I can do things the way I need to do them for my own highest good, regardless of what people think, regardless of what people say I need. in order to change a thing about my life and about myself. I want to be free to make my own decisions. And I'm going to absolutely implement that. I'm going to step into that unique, innovative way of being. Most welcome, Medea. That innovative way of being. Some changes, some shifts, some surprises can happen for you on Wednesday. Trust. And it will come out in a way where you're like, gosh darn it, I didn't know. Wait, hold on. And even though your ego may get caught up in a bunch because the moon in Leo has to deal with ego responses, even though your ego may be caught in a bunch, I pray that that next thought is, the change happened for a reason. It wants to set me free. How do I do this? How do I utilize this? Let me stop for a second. Let me ask for directions from my guides, from myself, from my higher self, from my ancestors, and go with it. Especially if it's out of your control. Especially if it's out of your control. We don't control this thing here. We floating on a fucking rock. I'm just saying. On Wednesday, also the freedom is in Neptune trining up that moon. The moon trines Neptune. Stay in the lane of imagination and artistic excitement and your dream state. Stay in the lane of your ancestors telling you exactly what to do. Pay attention. Stay in the lane. I can't say it enough, and I seem like a broken record. I know a bunch of people have fallen off listening to my rundowns, and I'm not being negative. I'm being realistic because there are times where people feel like, oh, you're saying the same shit. But possibly, maybe, I am saying the same shit. But are you listening and doing, like I said earlier, to what's being said? Because oftentimes, like we say as well, it's all a cycle. Ain't nothing new underneath the sun. But as we do it, as we come round about to the same things we think is the same thing, it's prompting us to get better in our reactions. It's prompting us to get better in our changes. It's prompting us to get better in how we utilize resources, how we relate to people, including ourselves. It's prompting us to get better. It's evolution. So even though you heard this again, how you going to handle it differently this time? Otherwise, you're going to stay in a loop and drive yourself bananas. So on this day, on Wednesday, when it's saying the moon is coming together with Neptune now, like, yeah, listen to your people, understand your people. Something new may come through or something old may come through. That's for sure. But that means you ain't been doing nothing. That means you have not been doing a thing, is the point. It also, that moon in Leo wants to balance out opposition. When I do this, it's an opposition 180 degrees away from the other planet. The moon on one end of the seesaw, the moon is in opposition 180 degrees of Pluto going retrograde. So the balancing act is our reactions as we recalibrate our power. Nobody can take what's yours. So share in shining brighter. Let me say that again. The balancing act is in our reactions based on our recalibration of power. Nobody can take what's yours. So share to shine brighter. What I put next to it, in case I forgot what I meant by that, was like working for pro bono. Oftentimes we believe that our power lies in the capitalistic idea of becoming rich and becoming more popular, receiving more likes, all the things, y'all. I'm talking to grown people and y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. The power, Pluto, as it's going retrograde, we are reassessing our power. Well, that moon in Leo says, wait, hold on. How can we share? As we reassess what it is that we are powerful about, it's often necessary to share what we discover. At the very least, have a conversation. At the very least, like I said, do pro bono work. For every 10 to 15 readings that I do personally, and this is me not bragging, I'm giving you an example. For every 10 to 15 readings I do personally, I always give away a free reading for spirit, for the act of doing what it is that I do. Why? Because what is it to have this information, the gifts and the talents that I have, if I sometimes can't give it away? I need to survive, y'all. That's why the eclipse special and the workshop that we're doing on September 2nd, and I'll drop the link in a day or two once I start feeling a little better. Our That's why I charge, right? Because I do need to stay alive. But can anybody attest that I've dropped some really good free information on this motherfucker? Like on some real shit. And I'm, again, not trying to pat myself on the back, trying to prove the point of why we have the power in the first place. We do have to survive. But in order to balance out our power, oftentimes we have to share. So the universe knows that we're grateful for what it is that we have been given. So the universe knows that we need more, not just for ourselves, but to get more to help more people. Does that make sense? Because what good is it if you can't share it? That's that reassessment of power on Wednesday. Come back here in the comments, please, on Instagram. You sometimes do, you sometimes don't, but definitely the family on YouTube. Rosalind is notorious for it. Brianna comes in here, a couple of y'all, which I'm very grateful for, to drop what it is that you've been feeling throughout the week, because it helps us to grow together and understand this information a lot better. My example may not be the example that you go through, but you are quick enough, smart enough, intuitive enough to say, oh, that's that example we was talking about. So come back and share that with me, okay, with us. So we'll understand how we're progressing together, all right? Again, I hope that makes sense. Payment is a form of reciprocity. It is a gift. It absolutely is, Chanel, because money is nothing but energy. But there are times in which I literally, it's like, I don't know. I feel God wants me to do that thing. And my way of sharing energy is to share and to give it and walk on through, because not everybody has the money, Chanel. Not everybody has $200, $300 to drop for a Sonja Marie reading. And it costs that much because a motherfucker is working. But not everybody has that. So when God says, just drop that information on them real quick and then turn around and go on about your business. Because people like to get weird and hold on to people and possess you. Ooh, I got stories. Anyway, that's what that means for Wednesday. Let's carry on. On Thursday, the moon stays in Leo, right? The moon stays in Leo, and I put a little asterisk by it. It says this is a great day to have a meeting and a plan of ideas. Is anybody, while I take a sip of this water, have any plans to have a meeting on Thursday? To have a pulling in of minds, a think tank. Do y'all have that on the books? Can y'all think about that right now? Thank you, Robin, for the patting on my back. I often find it really, really difficult for me to do, to be truthful with you. Although my Leo in me sometimes will blurt it out every now and again, like, bitch, you better say, you better, you better, you better. And the Cancer's like, all right, that's enough, pull it back. I try to utilize my chart, girl. I try to utilize it, but I appreciate that, Pat. That helps. For real. Does anybody have anything on the books? Nobody? Well, Thursday would be a day to, at the very least, schedule a great conversation you've been willing to have. Thursday is a good day, at the very least, to plan the thing. If you don't have the meeting on that day, like, you can plan it because that energy still applies. Did anybody get that? If you don't plan a meeting for Thursday, on Thursday, plan a meeting, or plan a gathering, or plan a think tank, or plan the meeting of minds in some way, that you're coming together just with a couple of friends just to talk shit up. But at the same time, you're bending their ear, they're bending your ear, trying to get ideas or ways in which to implement a thing. Okay. That's the day. Let me tell you why. Because the moon being in Leo, remember, she's courageous, he's courageous. The moon being in Leo is sextiling Mars. So Mars got the go ahead. Mars got the go ahead. Mars said, wait, what? It's time? Yeah, it's time, baby bubba. It's time. Let's kick this thing off. Mars in Libra loves that Leo energy. Any Libras in here or Leos in here that love Libras or Leo? It's an interesting synergy. It's really, really interesting because I think that Libra energy loves that Leo is so bold and will implement what it needs without really caring about too much of anything, right? And then that Leo energy loves the fact that Libra can be polite and charming, but Libra still is like, yo, we about to get this money, or we about to do this thing, or we about to save some lives. Low key, I'm just gonna be charming about that, so I can make this shit go off in a nice, kind of respectable way. You dig? That's why Libra and Leo gets together. So on Thursday, that's the dynamic that's happening. Yeah, we're gonna be bold about this thing, but we're going to do it. We're going to implement in a way that we're fair, in a way that everybody wins, in a way that it goes off seamlessly. You get what I'm saying? And that there's a little bit of funny and charming information, that there's a leader behind that's driving this need to show up. There's a leader. Libra's a leader. Y'all know that? Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, and Aries, all the leaders of the zodiac. Okay. And Libra says, we're going to drive this somewhere, but I need your courage on my back. And also with that, the reason why the meetings come into place in the meetings of the mind is because that moon in Leo is conjunct in Mercury. So you got the moon, Libra, and Mercury. The moon, the moon, Mars, and Mercury all sitting right nice together. So I feel good about implementing what I need to implement, Mars, in a way in which is like implementing my ideas, Mercury, the conversation, Mercury, how we speak, how we listen, how we plan. That's why it's a good day still, if you don't have a meeting that day, to plan a meeting, because it will hijack that energy in which your meeting, even if it's a week later, will still have that same collaborative feeling on it. You get what I'm saying? I didn't know Louis was a Libra, Miss Irene. Louis a Libra. Thursday's that day, y'all, to born some really great ideas and at the very least born them. And please do your best to implement them. At least one thing. Call somebody. I don't know. Walk to the store and get the ingredients that you need to get. Do something on the list to keep the party going, to keep the ideas rolling, to keep the conversation solid. Okay? Friday. Happy birthday, solar return, Earth Day, Born Day, whatever you want to say, however y'all saying happy birthdays nowadays. A double Libra, oh, that's sweet. Friday is Virgo Day. The sun goes into Virgo at 4:34 p.m. Now look at that rhythm, y'all. Can y'all not notice the rhythm? The rebel, the rhythm, the rebel. Without a pause, I'm known in the level. Do y'all not see the rhythm right there? So now all of a sudden on Friday, we walk into Virgo land. Now, Virgo land is quite pristine. Virgo land is quite, in quotes, perfect. Virgo land is quite critical, determined, disciplined in its own way. Virgo is a worker, y'all. I know many of y'all may think, and I've said this before, many of y'all may think, oh, I'll outwork a Virgo. No, you won't. You may have more energy than a Virgo, but that Virgo is going to make sure that the project comes to an end. Now, I'm talking about all of us again, for that one person that's like, she ain't talking to me. Let me go to the bathroom. No, I'm talking about you. So bring me into the bathroom with you and put me up on the little thing real quick so you can hear what I'm saying. You. I'm talking about you too, because we all, with the sun in Virgo, will feel the rays of being organized, of trying to reach some type of perfection, of understanding that all the things that we just experienced in Leo season, all the things that we experienced all this year, now we have a chance under Virgo's guise to implement them in a way in which we can really freaking say, I did something. I checked something off. Virgos love tasks. Not only do they work hard, but they love to see their to-do list checked the freak off. I've done all the things I needed to do, because in their minds, in that energy's minds, it makes it seem like I'm progressing. I'm moving forward. Now, There's no squares that day to the sun. But I want y'all to understand, even in Virgo land, while the sun is in Virgo, there will be some times in which things won't go according to the way that Virgo organization, that Virgo processing wants it to go. And oftentimes, Virgo energy can catch you like a deer in the headlights. I don't know if I want to do this. I don't think this is not the order. I don't think so. Da, 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 da. That doesn't mean, in my opinion, that you need to shut down production. You dig? You don't have to shut down production. Maybe it's time for you to reassess how you're doing the thing. Maybe you have to call in a different player. You understand? Maybe you have to, tell another player to leave. You know what I mean? There's ways in which you can augment the process in underneath this Virgo sun to make sure that whatever it is you need to do, whatever you've been mulling over, especially during retrograde season, right? Whatever you've been mulling over, now it's time to implement it in a way in which you're a little clearer on. I love Virgo energy. And I talk shit about Virgo energy sometimes too, in the most loving way. Like a Virgo friend will bring a map when we're going on a road trip. And I'm like, we got GPS. What's wrong with you? Da, 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 da. Just Sonja keying and going bananas for no freaking reason whatsoever. We be out in the middle of the desert and GPS goes down. And the Virgo's like, I got that map though, boo-boo. Boom. You understand what I'm saying? It's a place and a time for everything. I love that. Rely on that. The information. Rely on that. A backup plan. Rely on the organization as the Virgo energy comes in to get you, to really solidify some of your plans and some of your dreams and some of your unknown places that you may be going. The dreams that you have and you don't know what you're doing, at least set yourself with a little bit of a discipline. Okay, I'm going to swim every day. Okay, I'm just going to call this person every day. They're going to get tired of me. Hi, it's Sonja again. I'd love to be signed to your network. Hi, it's Sonja again. I'd love to. I really would like a job so I can give people readings for free. I would really like that. If someone gave me a 6-figure job, y'all be clamoring down my gosh darn door trying to get a reading because everybody, you get a reading. That's the truth. Roof, call me on it when I become a millionaire. Anyway, so that's Friday. But listen, if that's not enough for this Virgo energy, and y'all can go on YouTube and all the things to look up what Virgo is about if you want some more specifics. But that was out of Sonja's mouth and my intuitive forces. Thank y'all for coming in here. Those that are a little bit late, thank you. You can sign up for my ECLIPSE website workshop really, really quickly. It's going to happen on September 2nd. I will be posting the link soon. Also, just reiterating a couple of announcements. I'm doing free bricks again on October 28th. It's a Tuesday at 6 p.m. All that information is forthcoming. I'll give it to you in a minute. I just want to let y'all know so y'all can save some dates. September 2nd for the workshop, $33. And free bricks. It's free. It's going to be free, actually. So if you're in LA, you can come and see that thing. Anyway. All right, let's roll into Saturday because Saturday double backs that Sun and Virgo information with the new moon, 0 degrees Virgo. Now, come on now. Come on now. I know I told the village this, and if I haven't, I will reiterate it on Thursday. Whenever you have a new moon or a full moon or any planet in your chart that's of 0 degrees, it's incredibly auspicious. It's incredibly powerful because it is like the beginning incarnation of that energy. The poof, the burst, the juice, okay, let's get this thing raring. It's new, it's juvenile, but it's also exciting in its own kind of way. Does anybody understand what I mean by that? You could throw out some adjectives if you want, if you get the understanding of it. So with this new moon, in Virgo at 2:07 a.m., by the way. So that's Friday night going into Saturday, right? That new moon brings new order in Virgo. It brings new structures. It brings new understanding, new rationale, new ways of listening and implementing these ideas. Again, like I said, I'm going to reiterate a little bit because the sun in Virgo and the new moon in Virgo is slightly the same, but the new moon says, let's birth these things. We have the emotional propensity to really put that thing out there. Let's do these things in a brand new 0 degree type of way, in a way in which we've never done it before. Aren't you being called to do something you've never done before? Even if you say, oh, I did that 17 years ago, but not like you gonna do it now, boo-boo. Please don't, please y'all stop doing that. Comparing your older self, your mature self to your immature self to your mature self. You're new now. We've been going through way too much for you not to be new, for you not to be improved. And even though your circumstances may have changed, not changed, I should say, your circumstances have not changed on a practical level, on a realistic level in your bank account, the things are changing all around you, which is forcing you to change. So this new moon is saying, if everything is changing, boo-boo, then you need to have a new order of life. Then you need to not only change with it, but change with a plan. Change with a process, Virgo is saying. Change with some emotions that are a little bit tucked aside. I don't have time for emotions right now. I got to see what's working and what ain't working. That's what Virgo says. It's not to say Virgo is not emotional. It's to say Virgo energy has a way of separating the two when it's needed. So what you going to do for this newness that's coming over you? Okay, as it comes over you, it may throw you off a little bit because that new moon wants to quincunx, what's that, Saturn? Yep, that new moon wants to quincunx Saturn. I mean, okay, maybe this new information is coming up for you on Saturday, and then you go, God damn, but do I have to do the work? God damn, but do I have to fire my employee? God damn, but do I have to look at why it didn't work before? Because that brings up some fears and some things that I have to continuously remind myself of. My answer, yes. Get over yourself. You're trying to improve yourself. There's still things that you have to do. The irritation is, I'm over the hard work, whatever it looks like, emotional work, psychological work, practical work, whatever, financial work, whatever it looks like, I'm over it. Well, I mean, I get it because I'm human and I'm kind of sitting there right with you. But at the same time, aren't you ready to go? Aren't you ready to just wash away all the things that's preventing you from living your life in the way that you want to live it? I don't want to say best life. Sometimes I say it and it slips out because I'm conditioned by goddamn social media. But I don't really like that phrase because it's overused, and mainly because your best life is not my best life. What's your best life? What is your best life for you? Is it that 401k? Or is it you living in the mountains? That's what Virgo energy is coming in to tell you. Get clear about that thing, on what it is. What's your preference? What's your understanding? What's your need? Right? Where are you going with this? Again, what's your plan, Stan? Also, the sun is quincunxing Saturn on Saturday too. Ugh. So the ego, the sun, as well as the moon and your feelings don't want to go up against Saturn. It's like, golly, get over yourself. Understand that it's time to get over yourself, but at the same time, you got to sit back and say, what can I do in this day that would satisfy Saturn's needs for boundaries, for limitations, for me addressing my fears and lessons, for me getting to the heart of my daddy issues. I sometimes don't say that because that's a big umbrella. Saturn is daddy issues. And sometimes we go as so deep as that the things that we are fearing, we fear because our father feared him, or we feared because we looked at our dad and they couldn't get through it. So we're going, can I get through it? You understand what I'm saying? Fearing it because your dad had a lack of a thing. You know what I mean? So that could be for somebody. Saturday is that day to go deep, where Virgo is like, I don't want to go deep with that. I don't want to confront that. I don't want to see that. Okay. Just give yourself a little bit of time. Be gentle with yourself. Do it a little bit at a time. Okay. There's some confusion around Pluto and around Neptune on that day as well. I just want to let y'all know the confusion is the moon will quincunx Pluto, the moon will quincunx Neptune on that day. So there's confusion around being confused and not knowing what to do, but there's also confusion around Pluto. Is this my power? Is this how I'm really transforming? It's a weird day, Saturday and Sunday, by the way, because it brings us to a point where I really, really, really need to see how practical this is for my life. That's the question this weekend. Whatever habits, whatever projects, whatever relationships you take on, whatever things that are new to you and how you want to implement your world, it's asking you to please, please reassess on how important it is. So you don't get confused and frustrated by your own dreams, Neptune, frustrated by your own power, Pluto. On Sunday, that moon stays in Virgo, right? And then the sun in Virgo now wants to square up Uranus. Now there's a fight between Virgo and Gemini in regards to changes that need to happen on Sunday, waking up with the fears and the regret of recent changes. Give yourself a break and watch for the turnaround. So we did all this work this week in order to see the truth and have it stare in our face, like Chanel said, to get the priorities straight, to do the things we're supposed to do practically, clear, like Virgo style. And then all of a sudden on Sunday, you want to slip back and question the whole thing and bring up regrets because possibly maybe it's not moving as quickly as you would like it to because the ducks are not in a row. It's just one day, boo-boo. It's just one day. At the same time, the sun is quincunxing frustration with Neptune, and it's also the sun is quincunxing Pluto going reverse. Here we go again. Neptune and Pluto coming on in the mix, saying it's about your power. Are you confused about your power because you don't see the clear road? Don't be confused about your power. Don't be confused about Neptune and what your ancestors are telling you. Stay the course. Please stay the course. I know I said this before, but Virgo energy in this week is doing its best, especially towards the end, to say, I know it doesn't look like we thought it was going to look. And everything in you from a rational perspective says the thing is about to blow up. But is that true? Or is that you trying to control the outcome of a thing? Please ask yourself that question on Saturday and Sunday. Is it true that things are getting a little wonky? Or you just want to be the boss of the boss? You just want to have the power to say, I did the thing. I created the opportunity for you and for me. Remember, Virgo energy don't get tripped up on being the center. That's Leo for you. Leo loves to be the center. Virgo energy is a good stage manager. Is a good energy to say, you know, I helped you. I helped you along. I helped you to do this. So on Saturday and Sunday, it's like, what are the little things that are helping you along? Pay attention to the notches in your belt. Pay attention to the people that are assisting you. Pay attention to the resources, the ideas, the information that's coming down the pipe, not the big picture, not the, oh, did I get my Grammy? Motherfucker, when's the last time you sang a song and you won a Grammy? Oh my God, my stomach's hurting. When's the last time you did a thing and all of a sudden you want respect? Aretha Franklin, come on now, Riri, you want respect? Where's the plan? Pay attention to the plan. Pay attention to the notches. Pay attention to the small wins. Pay attention to the small wins, please. And also, to leave you with that, the saving grace for this whole week is because the moon on Sunday is sextiling Jupiter. Jupiter is the benefactor in the sky right now in Cancer. Again, coming at us with all the beautiful, loving, compassionate, winning energy when it comes to our heart and soul and the things that we want to do and we feel to do. So if the moon is sextiling the new moon energy, it's sextiling Jupiter for sure. Even though the new moon was a day before or a day and a half before that, that new moon is still vibrating when it gets to Sunday. And if it's sextiling Jupiter, it's saying all that new shit that you had an idea of doing. Jupiter's like, I got you, cuz like I had you in the beginning of the week. Why are you bugging? Why are you trying to be so exact? Why are you crossing all the T's, expecting them to, be the thing to do? Why are you dotting the I's, expecting that to be gold? Even though the dot is a little bit to the left and people can't read it the right way, it's the small wins. Jupiter's like, I got you. Don't look at all that stuff. I got you in the way that I'm going to make you feel good about you. I got you in the way that I'm going to make you see that you have been taking the proper steps, and your self-care and compassion for yourself is winning above and beyond what your resources and what your rewards and awards and the Grammys and all the things are showing you. You've stayed alive. You've mothered yourself. You've nurtured yourself. And that's the thing that we need in order to get to the rewards and the awards, in order to get to the recognition. Because at the end of the day, who got your back but you? At the end of the day, who got your back like you? Please answer that. In whatever way you want to answer. 3 Y's, yes, y'all. Come and talk to me, Jodeci. Like, for real, what are you doing? How are you holding yourself up? It's not anybody else's responsibility but your own. And that moon sextile in Jupiter, it's on Sunday, is saying that. I got you. You got you. Your mother got you. Life's ability to continue to pour into you and feed you got you. How you get here, how you think that last blow is going to be the blow that takes you out? Come on now. You've been having last blows for the last 15 years. Oh, this is the big one, Red Fox. This is the big one, Elizabeth. This is the big one. Is it? Come on. Is it? Just because you don't have all the ducks in a row and you don't know all the things right now, it's not the last blow. It's not the last heart attack, Elizabeth. It's not. Because you've been pulling you through this thing. I'm not saying we haven't had help. I'm not saying family and friends, good friendships haven't stepped in to assist. Please hear what I'm saying, not what I'm not saying. Okay? What I'm saying is that you kept yourself alive in times in which people didn't know what you were doing. If you were on the fucking floor bleeding and crying, ooh. Yes. Okay? Questions? Questions? Thank you for the hearts here on YouTube. I appreciate that. The acknowledgement is necessary because it is weird fourth wall. I don't know what y'all doing. Digging in your nose, driving in the car, putting up a middle finger at me. I don't know what you're doing. Blowing me kisses. So it's good to get the hearts and the yes, y'alls. I appreciate you. Thank you, Miss Irene. I'm doing my best, baby. I'm breathing through it. But this is the final thing, and then we're going to get on off of here, okay, y'all? God gave me a little bit of energy, and then a girl's going to go lay down. Great. Mother, Father, God. Oh, my guardian angels and ancestors. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the strength today. Please, that's one thing. All right. What's the card for this week, y'all? Anybody want to intuit it? Anybody want to put up some words? Let Spirit show us the way, please, God. I appreciate you for your guidance and for your love. This wonderful crew of people that come in so diligently and faithfully. Thank you. All right, y'all ready? Here it is. Ooh, Janet Jackson. Release control. Did I not say that? So here's the thing about Virgo energy. Virgo energy, and I noticed to be true because of the numerous dozens of workshops that I've done, right? People get Virgo energy confused with Capricorn energy sometimes. Capricorn is the controller. Capricorn wants to hold it down. Virgo sometimes, as some people would say in my workshops, seem like they're the controller. That energy is the controller because Virgo always wants to find a way to make things perfect, right? And can go into denial Understand that shit. I forgot to say that piece. Can go into denial when things are not perfect, right? Can go when they try to rationalize a thing and it can't find the reason or the sense for the shit. They go straight into denial. You dig? That's not really control. Okay? Virgo going into denial and Virgo trying to make things perfect is a way of making sense of a situation. Control is making it want to happen because you say it should happen, because you think it's the best way. Does that make sense? Please answer me. Does that make sense to everyone? Or did I confuse you even further? It's because you want the thing, because you believe it's the best, because your experience is telling you this is the way to go. Virgo's like, I just want to keep it in order. Does that make sense? I'm so glad. Thank you, Chanel. Okay, Robin. Thank you. Thank y'all. So here's a different though message about the control that you may have on your life this week, because I mean, maybe that Virgo energy can't find the rationale. Maybe that Mars and Libra is trying to get you to go this away and that away and up and down. And I'm just saying, maybe because you do want to control the fact that I gotta work, I gotta work, I gotta work. And Saturn is like, work, work, work. I gotta work, I gotta work. And then you end up, I'm not wishing this on anybody. That's why I'm tapping on wood right now. You end up with a broken toe or some shit because you pushed and controlled the situation, right? I'm looking for the page to read off of this. Right, y'all? That's, check yourself. That's why this week we pulling back so we don't control a thing. Let me read this so y'all can get a better understanding and not my words. There's a time and a place for control, y'all. But if we put it in charge of our lives, we end up totally rigid. The figure is encased with angles of pyramid shapes that surround him. Light glitters and glints off of his shiny surfaces, but it does not penetrate. It's as if he's almost mummified inside this structure he's built around himself. His fists are clenched and his stare is blank, almost blind. The lower part of his body, beneath the table, is a knife point, a cutting edge that divides and separates. His world is ordered and perfect, but it's not alive. He cannot allow any spontaneity or vulnerability to enter it. Get that? He cannot allow any spontaneity or vulnerability to enter it. The image of the King of Clouds reminds us to take a deep breath, loosen our neckties, and take it easy. Be gentle on yourself. If mistakes happen, it's okay. If things get a little out of hand, it's probably just what the doctor ordered. There's so much, much more to life than being on top of things. Okay? Ashe. Amen. Ashe. Just wanted to leave y'all with that. Remember the flow. We're all going in a direction in which we need to go, whether you agree with it or not. Please. Hi, Miss Sontina. Sontia. Okay? Trust that. And trust yourselves. And trust your ancestors and your guides. And trust that I'm about to get off of here and do what I need to do to take care of me. Be good to yourself today as well, okay? Much love, and I'll see y'all next week. Please save the date for the September 2nd for the astrology. It's called the Art of Alignment workshop, in which we're going to talk about the eclipses, but we're also going to talk about the power of prayer. We're also going to do a number of things. Actually, it's not just about astrology. It's a number of things. $33. It's going to be an hour and a half. September 2nd. Save the date. I'm only allowing 22 people to enter because I want to get into the depths of a few different charts, okay? Make it worth your while. And also the 28th of October, it's a far way out, but I'm doing free bricks again. In case you're in the LA area, it's free. The Santa Monica Playhouse for the Binge Fringe Festival. Y'all can look it up. Just Google Binge Fringe Festival, and that's that. All right? Take care, and thank you for your patience today. I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon. Adios.